Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review today. Another Irish whiskey, Dustin, the Killowen 10. Dustin, 52.5% ABV. Tell us a little bit about this one.
So this is finished in an Acacia wine cask, which I know literally nothing about other than it's kind of a sweet, more dessert type wine. This is 10 years old. It is 52.5, so the newer batches are not cask strength. And guys, this is being produced and put together, blended from a couple different sources, in a place the size of a small garage. We're in a bigger room right now, Mike, than we're there making this whiskey.
Aging it there too?
No, so like I said, they're sourcing the whiskey and then blending it.
Yeah, as Dustin said, 52.5% ABV or 105 proof. This is a small 375 ml, but I tell you what, due to the shape, looks a little bigger.
Honestly, I was thinking it was like a 200 ml when I first looked at it.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, light gold color, Dustin.
Yep.
Another Irish whiskey, which are always fun to play with.
Oh my God, I love what it smells, Mike.
It's a strong smell.
It has like this sweet, fruity dessert wine, but then there's like butterscotch and
so much
honey.
oak spice, honey. You're right there. Oak spice and honey.
Yeah, I should just real quick throw in here. It is 75% grain, 5% malt. Irish malt, and then 20% Northern Irish malt. I didn't know there was a distinction.
Yeah, it's further north.
Just didn't know they distinguished. Bold, really bold.
It is, but sweet and bold. I know initially I was, talking about the oak notes and spice, but there's a lot of sweetness to this.
This is an oak Tootsie Roll, if that even makes any sense. I think I've said that before, but oak Tootsie Roll. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. It's candied oak.
Sugary leather armchair.
Yeah. You're right. Leather armchair for sure. Ooh.
Spicing on this is so nice. Wow, I had no expectation with this. This is actually quite good.
Yeah, I didn't tell Mike much about this one going in. I just was kind of like, hey, let's do this one. Mike goes, really?
Sugary banana.
I'm not getting the banana, but I mean sugary, yeah.
I sometimes we get that, and I know I'm in the minority here with Irish whiskeys, but especially when they get kind of a candied sweetness to them, I get a little. It comes off a little banana, like a little banana.
I get like Tootsie Roll meets vanilla, like a vanilla Tootsie Roll with like some oak. Maybe you're in there. Maybe that's where you get banana. Just beautiful. Not getting a ton of wine. There is some.
Wow, what a surprise!
I'll tell you what, Mike. Nosing this, I would never guess 10 years old.
No.
I would guess at least 12, and I would probably say 15 to 18.
What a surprise.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right.
The level of sweetness that keeps building, this can't be understated. Now, if you go in deep into the glass, you get a little bit more of that oak, that vanilla, that spice. But a very inviting whiskey. Even at a good, solid ABV.
Yeah, no, great ABV. Oh, and the mouth, man. Just drinking this thing. You just said brown sugar. The finish is heavy.
Burnt brown sugar.
Oak and burnt brown sugar on the finish, man.
Yeah, I'm getting, sorry.
But yeah, up front, man, oh my goodness. It's creamy. It's vanilla. There's a nice, fruitiness up front. It opens up super sweet. Then the oak kind of just rises up, gives you this. And then with that comes in the Irish spice. The grain is bringing in these vanillas, but man, I would not have guessed this was that heavy grain either. And then there's a secondary. Then the finish starts transitioning into darker oak, brown sugar, burnt. I mean, there's 2, 3, 4 layers to this whiskey as it goes through.
So much sweetness.
Incredible.
So much sweetness. Yeah, initially you like that sweet vanilla, but very quickly it moves the mid palate, almost stinging chocolate on the side and char. That vanilla notes, it's always right there, but that spice, it's not ever overpowering, so I never say this is overly spiced or it's heavy spice. So that spice is so consistent and steady through the whole experience. And then you pick up more of those sugars, a little bit more of that, that candied vanilla, and almost kind of cinnamon apple at the end.
So chocolate blueberries is the note I missed. I had to go in for their second taste.
There's definitely chocolate.
Up front, there's chocolate and a hint of blueberry, which is that wine, I have to assume. I'm also now starting to decipher and pull out in kind of the mid section where it's like it goes from like upfront vanilla to like a different vanilla. That is definitely the grain whiskey doing that. And grain whiskeys, we've had a few Compass boxes and other ones, Mike, are very vanilla forward. And the good ones are especially. And this is really good.
Yeah, it is.
Again, I would never guess this is 10 years. Because it's so heavy grain, I would feel like this is 20-year-old whiskey, Mike. This reminds me of 20-year-old grain whiskey.
How was that Middleton in that big wooden box? What was that whiskey? 22 or something?
That one had up to 22-year-old whiskey.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. It reminds the grain note in here is similar.
Yeah, that one's all pot still. This is heavy. This has a lot more grain in it, so this is definitely a different process. But this doesn't have virgin oak, I don't think. Maybe. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, so all this is ex-bourbon. Then they blended it in a sherry butt. Then they finished it off in these very interesting Acacia or something like that. And there's another word in there that Txakolina, like Carolina, but Txakolina. I'm sure I butchered that one, Mike. So you can get the Fiji water out. I want to put a little water on this one to see if we get anything special here.
Fun whiskey to nose.
Yeah, just the nose on this thing's incredible, man.
I'll say this. Like a movie you didn't see coming. I wasn't high on this particular one, but I tell you what, it's performing well. The vanilla note is a little more obvious with water. The sweetness is amplified. Spice note is still there, but maybe took a step back.
Marshmallows are coming out now for me, man. Oh, you know what this reminds me of? A little bit of it was like a s'more. I'm almost getting like a graham cracker with marshmallow.
Almost said that graham cracker, yep.
Yeah, because I said honey earlier. So now the honey and the oak are kind of becoming graham crackers with like marshmallow. It's so vanilla-y. Sugary sweet. And then like, there's very like, it's almost like they put, instead of putting a chocolate bar on there, they put like Swiss Miss chocolate powder, like the chocolate, hot chocolate powder.
Yeah, there's something very cocoa. With water though too, it sort of melded some of those vanillas and chocolates together. Almost made it kind of a yin-yang sort of back and forth between the two.
It got better.
Yeah. Took the water really well.
Oh, man.
Smooth oak.
It brought everything together.
That's what I said. It kind of melded the yin-yang as far as chocolate and vanilla together.
But I mean, it brought the whole whiskey together. Like, initially you kind of thought blend. Like, they took some different parts. Now it's one whiskey.
It's very holistic. Very much so. Man, impressive whiskey.
Yeah. Gosh.
All right, so where are you as far as whiskey score on this one? Allow me.
Yeah, go for it.
89. And
Okay.
I could have gone 90, and I almost went 90. I don't know much about this whiskey, but this was really, for somebody I never heard of before, fairly stunning. If it's a small operation, this was
incredibly
a
small.
solid offering, especially for a 10-year-old. It has nothing I dislike. It has good ABV, it has good mouthfeel, good texture.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Good.
You know what? Actually, now that I'm just talking about it, this is a 90. I was going back forth between 80 and 90. There's absolutely nothing off-putting with whiskey. It's good ABV. It handles water really well. I really wasn't expecting to, especially call an Irish whiskey, a 10-year-old Irish whiskey a 90, but here we are.
Again, I refuse to believe this is 10-year-old whiskey, Mike.
Mislabeled bottle, is it?
Again, it's top dressing. Maybe one of those components, the three components, is 10-year-old. The rest is 25, 30-year-old grain, maybe.
Man, I don't know. It's pretty sophisticated whiskey.
I honestly, I think there's 30-year-old grain. The more I go back to this,
Where you at?
90.
Yeah.
I was a 90. Then I thought, maybe I'm being a little too generous. And then I said maybe. Then I said no. And then you said 89, and I was like, yes, I'm different. And then you went to 90. I was like, no.
I mean, I just can't fault this whiskey for anything. There's really no off-putting notes on it. You know, sometimes with Irish whiskeys, they get too much on the spice for me. Mm-hmm. This does not have that. I mean, it's solid spice, but it's right where you need it. It's tamed.
Again, I complain so often with some of these Irish whiskeys that they drink younger because of the spice. This one drinks older.
Again, but the spice is
And the other thing on this
manageable.
one makes this so great, a distinct up front, a distinct mid-palate, and a distinct finish where it transitions each time. That's always the sign of an exceptionally well-made whiskey, and this nails it.
It's structured.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
$90 for this little bottle. That is a 375. They made 350 bottles of this particular batch.
So $180 a bottle.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Absolutely all day. By the way, there is a peated version out there.
Killowen.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to buy some more, guys.
Small batch. 135 or 350. Wow, impressive whiskey, Dustin.
Yeah.
You said it was. And here we are. Anyway, those are our thoughts on the whiskey. If you had a chance to try this one, again, very obscure. Listen to what you guys think, but take it from me. Definitely worth your time to get your hands on.
Killowen, if you guys want us to keep reviewing your whiskey, maybe send us a couple samples. Just saying.
Always take free whiskey.
These are a little pricey.
Anyway, those are our thoughts on the whiskey. If you guys had a chance to try this one, listen to what you guys think. Until next time, Dustin, what do we wish the folks?
Happy drinking.
We'll see you then.